In progress.
Hi guys, good morning to all. Welcome to Sriman IT. Welcome to Devops with AWS classes. All are getting my screen and voice. Please confirm once. Please confirm in chat box. All are getting my screen and voice. Myself, Raju. I have 10 plus years of experience. Currently, I'm working as a project lead in one MNC company. So apart this real-time experience as a trainer, I have 7 plus years of experience. So this is brief about myself. Myself, Raju. I have 10 plus years of experience. Currently, I am working as a project lead in MNC company. As a trainer, I have 7 plus years of experience. Right. So this is brief introduction about myself. Coming to today's section. So first, we'll see what is DevOps. I think most of you guys have the idea what is DevOps. Why we are learning this course. Guys, observe very carefully. As a real-time working experience guy, I'm going to cover all real-time scenarios. I'm going to cover multiple tools at here and real-time scenarios also I'm going to explain where I will use all these concepts in the companies, in the projects, everything I will explain. Please concentrate. First, let me talk what is DevOps. Anyone have idea? Please respond in chat box. What is DevOps? See, if you open website, any website, right, just if you type, if you open Google Chrome or anything, just if you type what is DevOps, generally what definition it will give, generally what definition it will give in Google. You can see most of the places like this. DevOps is a combination of DevOps is a combination of development and operations. So this is what you guys can see in websites. If you open any website, so this is the general definition what you guys can see. Now tell me, here we have two words so we have to understand this. What is the development and what is operation? What is development and what is operations? And as a DevOps engineer, I need to work on these two things. As a DevOps engineer, I need to work on these two things or not. Here, in this statement, mainly we have to know about three things. What is a development? What is operations? And next, as a DevOps engineer, I need to work on these two development and operations or not. See, first tell me what is development, guys. What is a development? Please respond. What is development? I think most of the guys heard about development. Development is nothing but just coding, guys. Development is nothing but just coding. Coding in the sense what? Whether it is Java coding, Python coding, anything, we call it as development. What is operations? What is operations? Right. So operations are nothing but what? System administration, database administrator, infrastructure administrator, so middleware administrator, like that. In the companies, so many administrators are available. Right. We will call all those administrators are operations team, system administrators, database. So all these people will come under operations. See, here we have two teams, guys: development, operation. If you go with this, guys, please put on mute. If you go to any company, we can see multiple teams, guys. What teams you guys can see? Development team, testing team, database team, system administrator team, middleware teams, like that. Any company, if you go with any company, we have different types of teams. You go with any company, we have different types of teams. For developing, separate team is available. For testing, a separate team is available. For middleware things, a separate team is available. For database, separate team is available. And system maintenance, separate team is available. Now, as a DevOps engineer, I need to work on these two things, guys. Please confirm. DevOps engineers will do coding. Anywhere you guys heard about that thing? DevOps engineers will do coding section? No. No only. DevOps right 0% coding. DevOps engineers, they won't do any coding kind of activity. But here, what I'm saying, as a DevOps engineer, you should have knowledge on both development and operation. Is it correct? Guys, please respond on chat box. Two-way communication must be required. Here, what I am saying, as a DevOps engineer, you should have knowledge on both development and operations. Is it correct? Do you think practically is it possible? Coding is a completely separate domain, and these operations are completely separate domain. But here I am saying, as a DevOps engineer, you should have the knowledge on both coding and operation. Is it possible practically? You can't expect You can't expect a single person called DevOps engineer to implement everything. But here, this definition is giving same thing. What this definition is telling, DevOps is a combination of development and operation. Means what? DevOps, as a DevOps engineer, you should have the knowledge on development and operation. Is it correct? So, is this exact meaning for DevOps? Development is nothing but coding. Operations are nothing but what? System administrator, database administrator, middleware administrator. All these people will come under operation. And if you go with any company, right, for development, we have separate teams are available. For testing, we have separate teams are available. For database, we have separate teams are available. But here, I am saying, as a DevOps engineer, you should have knowledge on both development and operations. Is this correct or not? Please respond on chat box. Practically, is this possible or not? Please respond. No, only. No, this is not correct. So the actual definition of DevOps is, see, this is the actual definition. This is the actual definition of DevOps. DevOps is a DevOps is basically combination of certain certain automation tools, which helps you to speed up the process of delivering the software client. So this is the exact meaning. Please read the statement. DevOps is basically combination of certain automation tools, right? So which helps you to speed up the process of delivering the software to client. Right. So if I give this definition, what you guys will feel, Array, DevOps is nothing but combination of development and operation. So DevOps person should know the development and operations. Don't feel like that. It is not possible and practically. In the companies for development, separate teams are available. As a DevOps engineer, we don't need to develop anything. We don't need to write any coding. DevOps means the exact definition is this one. AWAPS is basically combination of certain automation tools which helps you to speed up the process of delivering the software to client. We need to deliver the software to client as quickly as possible. How it possible? Right? If you use by using these DevOps tools, we can deliver the software to client as quickly as possible. Suppose if you don't have this DevOps concept, right, it will take more time to deliver the software to client. Why it will take more time? So there was a lot of manual things, and there was a lot of manual things we need to do. Now by using these DevOps, whatever the manual things are there, all those things we are going to make automated. Understood what I'm telling? Guys, clear what I'm telling? Suppose if you don't have this DevOps, right, everything you need to do manually. By using this DevOps, what we are doing, all those manual things we are making automation. So because of that reason, right, we can able to deliver the software to client as quickly as possible. It won't take much time for the delivery. Clear? Please read the statement once. Please read the statement. DevOps is basically combination of certain automation tools which helps you to speed up the process of delivering the software to client. Don't feel DevOps means development and operations both should require. As a DevOps engineers, we never do the coding. It is not our responsibility. For development, separate teams are available in the company. They will take care of this development section. DevOps is not a one tool, it is a combination of multiple tools. All those tools are combined. What they will do, and all those tools combined, what they do is they help to deliver the software very quickly to the client. DevOps is not a one tool. See, let me write that point also. DevOps is not a one tool. It is a combination of multiple tools. So what these multiple tools will do? Combination of multiple tools are combined. What they do is what they do is they help to deliver the they help to deliver the software as quickly as possible to the client. Read these two statements, guys. Please read these two statements once. Then you guys will get clear clarity what is DevOps. So most of the people will feel like this. DevOps engineer means that person should have the knowledge on both development and operation. No, that is not correct. So in DevOps, there is no coding, 0%, and there is no scope of learning coding. Clear? If you guys clear these statements, I will move on. Why? My voice is not audible. One person also not responding. Even one person also not responding. I don't know my voice is visible or audible or not. My voice is audible or not. I don't know. One single person also not responding in chat. Please respond. So you have chat option. At the end, if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask at the end. I'll give the chance. So till now, what we discussed? Nothing. Nothing, Andy. Just I am trying to explain what is DevOps. Okay, good. Pawan Kumar, is this clear? What is a DevOps clear? So most of the people and who don't know about the DevOps, those people will feel, "Arey, I'm learning DevOps. I'm going to learn DevOps means I should know both development and operations. Then only I can join as a DevOps engineer in the company." No, that is not correct statement. That is not correct statement. Development is separate, operations are separated. Right? Good. So now see why DevOps is required. Why DevOps is required? Why DevOps is required? Why DevOps is required? Why it came into the market? Simple example I will give. See, one bank is there and one IT company is there. One bank is there and one IT company is there. Right. So this bank people want one project. So this bank people want one project. One banking project is required. Right. That banking project should contain all the modules and like loans module, credit card module, debit card module, internet banking module. All the modules are required in that project. So this bank team is expecting, right? They want one project. Right. For that project, this bank team is communicated with this IT company. What bank team is doing? They're trying to communicate with this IT company. Right. Bank is communicated with IT company for one project. Right. See here, they explained the entire requirement to this company. Bank is explained all the requirements to the company. So now, what company will do first? And I think you guys know SDLC life cycle, software development life cycles. Now, what company will do first? See, suppose TCS is the company. Assume TCS is the company. And what first activity of the TCS? That agreement is done. Now TCS is going to start the project. So what is the first activity TCS is going to do? First TCS should understand the requirement. First TCS should understand the requirement of this bank. What is expecting from, suppose see, what is expecting from this application? what this bank is expecting from this application, that points TCS should understand first. Right. So first what these people will do? First, requirement gathering. Requirement. First TCS will gather the requirement what this bank is expecting. Once requirement gathering is completed, so then what TCS will do next? TCS will do the analysis. TCS will start the analysis on that requirement. First activity is requirement gathering. Once requirement is ready, TCS team will start the analysis on this side. Right? So next analysis means what they will do. In this analysis part, what they will do? So they will identify which technologies are suitable for this requirement. In this analysis stage only, they will identify which technologies are suitable for this requirement. Right? Java is required, right? Database Oracle is required, NoSQL is suitable. Which technologies are suitable for developing this requirement? They will analysis it here. Right? So next, after completing this analysis, what is the next phase? Design. Design is the next phase. Design and planning. Designing and planning is the next phase. So in this designing and planning phase, what they will do? Some senior developers are involved here. Right? They will create some diagrams, flow diagrams, sequence diagrams, flow diagrams, sequence diagrams, like that. They will prepare some diagrams in design and planning phase. Right, guys. First requirement gathering. Right, TCS should gather the requirement from this bank. Once requirement gathering is completed, they will start the analysis. In this analysis stage only, they will think about required technologies, required softwares, and all those things. Once analysis is done, they will start the designing and planning. Right. In this designing and planning, right, what they will do, some senior developers are involved in this design and planning. Right. They will create some flow diagrams, some sequence diagrams, some graphical things they will design it here. Once designing and planning is completed, they will move to coding section. Coding and right, before coding, they should complete all these activities. Then only coding will start. Once coding is completed, they will start testing. Once coding is completed, they will start testing. Right? So once testing in the sense what they will do? Once the testing is over, what they will do? Right here, after completing the coding, testing team will test that that application is working as expected or not. This testing team will test it. Once testing is completed, right, so that the bank team will come to our place. That bank team will come to our place and they will do some user acceptance testing. And once our testing is done, our team will do some testing. And in our company's testing team is available, they will do some testing by using some test cases. Right, selenium programs they will write. By using those programs, they will run some test scenarios and they will check whether application is working as expected or not. After completing this testing, the bank people will come to our place and they will do some acceptance testing and user acceptance testing. So that user acceptance testing is completed. So then next stage is you will user acceptance testing. We call it as UAT. 1 minute, please. So that user acceptance testing is called as UAT and UAT testing. And in the companies, we will call it as UAT testing. right? So after completing this UAT testing, after completing this UAT testing, happen this. After completing UAT testing, next is what? Release and maintenance. Release and maintenance. Release and maintenance means, right? So our application is going into live. Now bank team can start working on that. Bank team can start using that application. So these are the different stages we have. Right, once agreement is done between this IT company and bank, first what this company will do, they will gather the requirement from the bank, what they are expecting, right, that from that application they will gather the information. Once requirement is ready, they will start the analysis. In this analysis stage, some senior people will set it. Senior people will sit and they will start analyzing what technologies are suitable for this requirement, how many developers, how many team members are required for the required to complete this development. All that analysis will do it here only. After completing this analysis, next they will go to designing and planning. So in this design and planning stage, right here, creating the flow diagrams, creating the sequence diagrams, everything will done in this stage. After completing this design and planning, next they will move to coding section. Here, developers will involve and they will do the coding. Coding in the sense what? Writing some programs, Java programs or Python programs, whatever it. After completing this coding, next they will move to testing. Right, testing our team only will do, and in our companies, testing teams are available. They will do this testing. What they will do? They will check whether this application is working as expected or not by using some of the Selenium programs and automation. Right, some of the automation Selenium programs, they will test whether application is working as expected or not. After completing this testing, right, this bank team will come to our place, and bank team will come to our place and they will do user acceptance test. We call it as UAT. UAT means user acceptance tested. Right. So once this user acceptance test is completed, our project will go to live and release under maintenance. Once hand over the project to the bank, and in future if there is any problem occurred, they need to approach to our company only again. Our team members will go and resolve that issue. Maintenance support also is required at here. Is this clear? So this is clear, right? If any company wants to start the project, right, these are the different stages they need to involvement. So these are the different stages we have. First one is requirement gathering, second one is analysis, third one is designing and planning, fourth one coding, fifth one testing, sixth one UAT, last one release and maintenance. Clear? This entire process we call it as SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. And SDLC. This entire process we call it as SDLC. And this model is called as what? Waterfall Modelling. At very beginning, around 20 years back, around 15 to 20 years back, people used this waterfall model. So nowadays, no one is not using waterfall model. So this is the very initial model. Around 2 decades back, people used this waterfall model. Nowadays, no one is not using model. Right, then what people are using now? Right. So here in this waterfall model, so many problems are there. So many problems are there. And to overcome those problems, right? So many advanced software development life cycles are came into the picture. And like we have increment model, iterative model, agile model, etc. So like this, several software SDLC lifecycle models are came in. Earlier, 2 decades back, 20 years back, people used this waterfall model. Nowadays, no one is not using this. Almost all the companies are using Agile only. All the companies and all the companies are using Agile only. See, if you want to start any project, what different stages are available? The first is requirement gathering, requirement gathering. Second stage, analysis. Third stage, third stage is design and what is third stage? Planning and design and planning. Right. Fourth stage is coding. Fifth stage is testing. Sixth one is the UAT, user acceptance test. Last one is release and maintenance. So these are the different stages are there. First, company should gather the requirement from the client. Right, first, requirement need to gather. Second one is analysis. Right, company will analysis and company will do some analysis and right what softwares we need to use for this project. Right, so what technologies we need to use for this project and everything will analyze in this stage only. Once analysis is completed, designing and planning, here they will create some diagrams and sequence diagrams, flow diagrams and everything they will create it here. Based on that design, development team will start the coding. Based on that design, development team will start the coding. Once coding is completed, testing team will test that application whether it is working as expected or not. Once testing is completed, the client people, the bank team will visit our place and they will do some UAT testing, user acceptance testing. Once UAT is completed, then happily we can release our project. We can hand over the project to client. After handovering the project, in future, if any problem is occurred, right, we only need to give the support also and maintenance also we only need to take care. Right, these are the different stages we have. Right, generally, this entire process is called as what? SDLC, Software Development Life Cycle. This model is called as what? Waterfall Modeling. 20 years back, people used this waterfall model. Nowadays, no one is not using this. And we have several problems are there in this waterfall model. To overcome all those models, several advanced software development life cycles are came into the picture, like increment models, iterative model, agile model, like that. But now, almost 100, right, 99.99, 100%, 100% of the companies are using this agile only. No one is not using waterfall, increment, iterative, and all. Most of the companies are following agile model only. Is this clear up to here? We call it as agile scrum model. Right. So why people are following this agile scrum model? What advantage is there? Advantage is there in this agile scrum model? And agile scrum is a process where there is a continuous continue interaction with the client, continuous interaction with the client in this agile scrum, right? So we have continuous interaction with the client. Every stage of development and testing will be monitored by the client. See here, if you go with agile scrum model, what is the advantage? In agile scrum model, what is this agile scrum? Agile scrum is a process of process is a process where there is continuous interaction, continuous interaction with the client, continuous interaction with the client. Every stage, every stage of development, development and testing, testing will be monitored by the client, monitored by the client. Every stage of development and testing will be monitored by the client. Right? So what happens in Agile Scrum is entire banking application. See here, our entire banking application is going to divide into multiple modules. So in this model, our entire banking application is going to divide into multiple modules. Right? Each module is nothing but what? One functionality. Our entire banking application is going to divide into multiple modules. Multiple modules. Each module is called as one functionality. Each module is called as one functionality. So in this Agile Scrum, what is going to happen? Our entire application is going to divide into multiple modules. Each module is called as one functionality. See it. Observe very carefully. Very, very important. See here. Okay. Our entire bank application is going to divide it into multiple modules. 1 minute, guys. I will take another one. See, what is going to happen here? See, our entire bank application is going to divide it into multiple modules. These are very carefully, very, very important. Very, very important. Multiple modules. First module is suppose assume loans module. Second module is net banking, internet banking. Third module is some cards module, credit cards or debit cards. So like this, etc. Right? Our application, this bank application is going to divide it into multiple modules. One is loans module, internet banking, credit cards, debit cards, insurance, like this. Project is divided into multiple modules. Right? First loans module is started. First loans module is started. See, to complete this entire loans modules, assume it will take 2 to 4 weeks of the time. 2 to 4 weeks of the time. To complete this loans module, it will take 2 to 4 weeks of the time. So this 2 to 4 weeks of the time is called as one sprint. One sprint. So in the companies, we will call it as a sprint. Right. So duration of the sprint is 2 to 4 weeks. What is the duration of the sprint? 2 to 4 weeks. In this sprint, we need to complete entire loans module. Completing in the sense what? Not only development. We need to complete development. We need to complete testing. You need to complete UAT testing, and we need to release also. We need to hand over this loans module to client also. So that entire process we need to complete within 2 to 4 weeks of the time. So this 2 to 4 weeks of the time we call it as what? One sprint. We call it as one sprint. Within this sprint only we need to complete this module and we need to hand over it to the client. Right. In this 2 to 4 weeks of the time, first 2 weeks, development team will work on. Development team will complete the development. Right? So after completing the development, remaining 2 weeks are there. In this remaining 2 weeks, right, the testing will complete and the release, delivery and testing and delivery should complete in this 2 weeks of the time. First 2 weeks for the development, second 2 weeks for what? Testing, delivery for entire remaining process, second 2 weeks. So now tell me guys, tell me here, after completing the first 2 weeks of time, what developers will do and what developers will do? First 2 weeks, developers will complete the coding part and hand over it to the testing team. Testing team will start the testing. At that time, there is no use of developers for tester. For testing, developers' help is not required. So then what developers will do next 2 weeks? What developers will do in the next 2 weeks? They will start working on this internet banking. Right? They will start working on this internet banking. Assume after completing these 2 weeks, second 2 weeks, testing team came into one conclusion. Array, so whatever the development is done, that entirely wrong. That entirely wrong. Not correct. So this is not what client is expecting. Right? Client is expecting something, developers are developed something. This is not correct. So like that, they finalize. Like that, they came into the conclusion. So now what they will do? So here, in this 2 weeks of time, developers will complete this module also. Developers will complete this module also in this 2 weeks of time. But here the problem is the base module. First module itself not correct. First module itself not working properly. Then what is the use of second module? Correct or not? We don't have base properly. Right? If you construct first floor, second floor, what is the use? Base should be mandatory, right? Base should be correct. Then only you can construct other floors on top of that. But here, the first module itself is not working properly. Then what is the use of constructing second module? There is no use. Right here, unnecessarily developer time is getting wasted. Suppose if the second process, whatever we have, second 2 weeks of process, whatever we have, if you complete this entire process 2 to 4 weeks, 2 to 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, or 6 hours, or 8 hours, like that. Instead of spending 2 weeks of time, so this second part, if you complete within 2 hours, or 4 hours, or 6 hours, or 8 hours, let's see how much time you can save. And developer won't start the second module. Developer will wait until completing the testing. If there is any issues, developer will work on that issue only. Correct or not? Please respond, guys. Here, the sprint duration is 2 to 4 weeks. First 2 weeks, developers will work. Second 2 weeks, testing team, delivery team will work on that. Right? After completing first 2 weeks, developers will start working on the second module. Right? Testing team will start the testing of the first module. Right? After completing 2 weeks, what testers will finalize? What testers are came into the conclusion? Right? Whatever the development is done till now, that entirely wrong way. Client is expecting something, these developers are developed in different way. This is not correct approach. This is not correct. Application is not working as expected. Like that, they came into the country. Right. By the time development team is completed second module also. Right. Right. Base is not correct. What is the use of developing first floor or second? There is no user. First, they should construct the base properly. Then only they need to move into second module. Here, testers are spending 2 weeks of the time only. Because of that, like, developers are working on that other module. Developers won't sit idle. Right? For this second part of the sprint, developers won't sit idle. Client is paying for every minute. Right? Time is very important at here. They will start working on second module. Right. So if you complete this second part of the work within 2 hours, or 4 hours, or 6 hours, or 8 hours, developers will wait until completing the testing. Developers will wait, and if there is any problems, if you raise any defects on this first module, they will fix on that. Once completed this entire process, then only they will move to second module. Right. So here, actually, DevOps will come into the picture. By using our DevOps tools, what we are doing is the second part, whatever we are making easy that part. By using our DevOps, right, this second part, testing, delivery, everything we are going to complete within hours. Within hours. Right. If you don't have DevOps, right, these people will take more time to do this second phase of the work. For completing testing, they will take more time. Next, for a delivery purpose, they will take more time. they do manually. But here, by using DevOps, what we are doing, this entire process, we are going to make it as automate. We are going to make it as automation. Right? They won't take much more time. Within 2 hours or 4 hours, they can complete this second phase, and they will. Right? If there is any issues, they will inform to the development team. Again, development team will work on that issue. Understood? Where DevOps are using. Right? See here, observe very carefully. And one more point you guys need to focus. One more point you guys need to understand it here. Here the thing is, see, whenever bank people came to this company, what company will tell and to complete this entire project, we required 6 months of the time. Assume to complete this project, we required 6 months of the time. And money, right, assume they will tell 100 crore something. 100 CR they will tell it. To complete this project, they will charge 100 CR and 6 months time is required. Right? If the client is spending this much of money and this much of time means why they will spend and why client is spending this much of money and this much of time? After completing this project, they will get some revenue on that time. They will get revenue on that project. That's why they are spending this much of time and this much of money. But to generate the revenue on that project, that client should wait until completing this project. To complete this entire project, it will take 6 months of the time. After 6 months, only client will start the getting revenue. Correct or not? Guys, please respond. Here, to complete this entire project, right, it will take 6 months of time and 100 crores they are charging. Right, when client will get the revenue? After completing 6 months. Once this IT company is hand over that project to client only, they can start getting the revenues on that. They can start using that project. If you go normal method, waterfall model, so this is the problem. This is the problem. But in Agile and after completing, see, to complete the first module, only it will take 2 to 4 weeks of the time. And after completing this 2 to 4 weeks, right, company will deliver this first module to the client. First module, right, bank can use this first module after 4 weeks, and they will start getting the revenue on this module. They need to wait until completing this entire project until 6 months. Right after completing the first module, company will hand over this module to the client. Client will start using of that module. So revenue will get it. Revenue, right? They will start getting the revenue at here only. Right after 2 weeks, after 2 to 4 weeks, second module also will complete. They will deliver second module also to client. Right? Client start can use that second module also after 2 months. Right? So third month, by the end of third month, third module also will get complete. Right? This company will deliver the third module also to client. So after 3 months, client can start working on this third module also. Right? Client no need to spend until completing the entire project, and no need to wait until completing entire project. Right? After 1 month, after first month onwards, right, revenues are starting. They can start using this project module wise. So this is the advantage of agile scrum. But if you go for waterfall model or normal models, and client should wait until completing entire project. Right, 6 months client should wait. But in this agile, client not required to wait until completing entire project. Project is divided into multiple modules. Module wise, we are delivering to the client. Once the first module is delivered, client can start working on that module. Client can use that module after 1 month. Right, second month they will deliver the second module. Third month ending, they will deliver the third module like that. Right, here actually where DevOps is coming to the picture, actually, see, in second phase of the work, testing, delivery, and all these things, they are taking weeks of the time, and 2 weeks of the time is not required. If you do manually all these things, 2 weeks of the time is required. To avoid this problem, right, to save the time, we are using DevOps tools at here. By using DevOps tools, we are going to automate entire process at here. Complete, guys, clear? Guys, please respond whatever I explained. Is it clear? Please respond once, guys. Is this clear? Whatever I explained clear? Guys, don't worry, I will give notes, wonderful notes I will give. Whatever I'm each and every point I will write in front of you guys only. Each and everything. Here I'm not going to use any PDF kind of things. I'm not going to use any PDF kind of things. Every diagram, every statement, every point I will write in front of you guys only. And I will share these notes to you guys at the end. Everything is transparent. Right? I will cover lot of real-time scenarios. Whatever I am using in my project, all those things I'm going to discuss it here. But after completing this course, you guys can right claim right 4 years of experience minimum. And minimum, you guys can behave like you guys have 4 years of experience in DevOps. Right, that confidence you guys will get after completing this course. Today is just starting it. Just starting. Just I'm trying to explain what is DevOps, where this DevOps will useful. Here DevOps is going to use it. Here we are going to use DevOps. See, instead of taking this much of time for testing and delivery, by using this DevOps tools, we are going to automate those things. Very quickly, we can deliver the project. See, if you complete this entire process within 2 hours or 4 hours, we can deliver the project to client very quickly. Instead of waiting 2 more weeks, right? Within 2 weeks, only instead of waiting till 4 weeks, within 2 weeks only we can deliver the project to client as quickly as possible. So this is the advantage of DevOps. Suppose if you don't have DevOps, right, manually you need to do all these things. Manual in the sense what? Manual in the sense what, and what you need to do manually? See here like this. See, so the thing is like this. Tomorrow we will use Git, and at first we are going to learn Git. Assume this is the Git and remote repository. Here developer is there. What a developer will do? After writing the code, developer will push the code into this remote repository. Developer will push the code into remote repository. Can we give this code directly to the client? And no, we can't. Client can't able to understand what we are writing. And client can't able to understand what we are writing. We can't able to give this code directly to the client. So what we need to do? Guys, 1 minute. Right. So once development is completed, right, what developer will do? He will upload the code into Git. So we can't able to give this code directly to the client. The client can't able to understand Java code, Python code, and all those things. Right. What we need to give it to the client? We need to give setup file. We need to give one setup file to the client. Client will take that setup file and they will install into their machine and they can start using it. We need to give one setup file to the client. We can't able to give the code directly to the client. So client will take that setup file and they will install in their machine and they will start using it. But here, after uploading the code into this Git, at here one team will commit the picture. What that team will do? That team will take the code from this Git repository and they will run the build. They will run the build. Once build is successful, one artifact will create. And artifact is nothing but one setup file will create. We call it as artifact. Right. So other team will come, other team will take this setup file and they will deploy into this testing environment. They will deploy into this testing environment. Here, testers will write some Selenium programs. Testers will write some Selenium programs. By using this Selenium programs, they will run some test cases to test our application is working properly or not. Right? Once testing is completed, if there is any issues, again they will send it back to developers to fix the issues. Suppose if there is no issues, application is working fine, then other team will come, release team and deployment team. Deployment team will come and they will deploy this application into production server, production. production server. Right. So after production server, everything is completed, right? So they will release it. Release team will come and they will release it. See here, multiple teams are involved at here end. Right, the development team, right, the next here, build team is separate, next here, right, the deployment team is separate, right, like that. Several teams are involved in this process. First, developers will upload the code into repository, and other team, build team will come and download the code from this repository and they will run the build to generate the setup file. Next, deployment team will take the setup file and they will deploy into the test environment. Next, right, from testing environment, they will deploy into production. Next, they will deliver the code to client ID. Setup file only they will deliver. They won't deliver the code directly. This is the general process. Right. So to complete this entire process, it will take a lot of time. So now here what we are doing, right here, we are going to use one tool called Jenkins. Jenkins, and what this Jenkins will do, Jenkins is integrating with this Git repository. Right, we are integrating this Jenkins with Git. Right, Jenkins we are integrating with the Git. Whenever developer upload the code into the Git repository, immediately Jenkins will get the notification. Jenkins will get the notifications. Jenkins will go and download the code, and Jenkins only will run the build. Right. Once a setup file is generated, this Jenkins only will take the setup file and deploy into the test environment. Right. Once testing is completed, this Jenkins only will deploy the setup file into production environment. Everything is taken care of by this Jenkins only. What is this Jenkins? This is one of the tool in our DevOps. Understood, guys? Instead of using these many number of teams, right? Through one Jenkins only, we are trying to complete the entire our process. Understood? Suppose if you don't have this Jenkins, manually you need to do all this process. Clear? Is this clear? See what is happening at here. Whenever developer is upload the code into this remote repository, immediately Jenkins will get the notification. What Jenkins will do? Jenkins will download the code and Jenkins only will run the build. Right after build is successful, setup file is generated. Jenkins will take the setup file and deploy into the test environment. Right here, Jenkins only will run the test cases. Once the test cases are passed, application is working fine. Then this is setup file again deployed into the production server. Suppose if there is any issues, then this Jenkins only will send it back to the developer and it will send some mails. Jenkins will send some mails to all the respective people and the application is not working. Somewhere it is failing. Where it is failing, all that information it will send through mail to the respective people. Right? So here there is no manual process. Everything we automated by using this Jenkins only. And this Jenkins is one of the tool in our DevOps. First, we are going to discuss Git remote repository. After completing this Git, we will move into this Jenkins section. Clear, guys? Guys, please respond. Guys, please respond in chat box. Clear? Fine. So, any doubts? Anyone have any questions? No? Good. Okay, guys, we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will show what tools we are going to learn. Everything I will discuss in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow, I will explain what tools we are going to learn in this course. Everything I'm going to explain in tomorrow's session. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. నీ ఫ్రెండ్ నీకేం చెప్పలేదు మరి జాయిన్ అవ్వకపోతే ఆఫ్లైన్ వెళ్ళినప్పుడు రావాలి కదా 7:30 చెప్పాడు నేను దానికి పెట్టాను పొద్దున్నే మెసేజ్ కూడా స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది క్లాస్ నేను మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేయలేను కదా టైం అయిపోతుంది కదా అందుకే లేట్ అవుతుంది బ్యాచ్ అందుకని ఫస్ట్ 1 వీక్ ఎంత కలిసి పెట్టారని చెప్పి నేను జాయిన్ అవ్వమని చెప్పి